Good morning, everyone. My name is Veritas, and welcome back to Destiny. Now, today is a beautiful Friday morning. It also happens to be the day that Xur, Agent of Nine, the exotic merchant, has arrived inside of the tower inside of Destiny, and will bring with him some exotic curios, items, armor, things along those lines, that nature. Fuck. Anyway, so he is over here. If you follow my footsteps exactly and do not venture away from the path that I am leading you down, you will both find enlightenment through God, and you will find Xur, the merchant. He is down here in the hunter bar, the tower bar, the hangar, the ship, whatever you want to call it. And as always, I have refrained from seeing what his inventory is until now. Hopefully he doesn't have things I don't want people to have for free. Oh good, his inventory is absolutely terrible. This is probably the worst Xur inventory I've ever seen, to be honest with you. So I'll pull up the stats here. Let's see. We've actually got some decent rolls on this armor. But first thing first, I want to make note, this is a legacy engram. As you can see, it's 29 strange coins to purchase. You can usually tell if it's a legacy engram by how expensive it is in terms of coinage. So if you go out of your way to purchase this, you'll be finding that you will be decrypting into year 1 helmets. So this is not a legendary, or like a fucking exotic engram. You know, like last week he had exotic gauntlets. This is a legacy engram. You will obtain 170 light level maximum year 1 helmet gear from this engram if you so choose to purchase it. Do not fall victim to this engram. Moving into the Immolation Fist. This is an exotic gauntlet for the Titan, specifically the Sunbreaker subclass. These gauntlets grant explosive pyre. Accelerant is the perk here. Unlocks the Sunbreaker subclass node explosive pyre for free. Enemies brought down by your hammer explode, chaining fiery solar damage to other enemies. So essentially what this does is it gives you explosive pyre in your subclass tree. These have a 87% stat roll on them, so not very good at all. I would stay away from these. They're not even that great in terms, and they also don't shade with shaders. So as a fashionista, or fashionisto, whatever the hell that is on a male term, I would stay away from these Immolation Fists. Moving into the Hunter Exotic, we have the Skyburner's Annex. Now this was my Hunter helmet for the longest time. Back in Taken King. I love the look of this thing. It's pretty freaking cool. You're essentially wearing like a Taken slash Scion helmet. It's very interesting looking. It also happens to be a 91% stat roll, so it's pretty good in terms of stats. I would pick this up if you are a hunter and you want basically a heavy helmet. Versatile shooter. Heavy weapon kills have a chance to generate orbs. Orbs collected when your super is full have a chance to grant special ammo. So it's a pretty neat helmet. I will say that if you're, doing an activity like Archon's Forge or Prison of Elders or even the raid encounter, and you happen to run over a big group of orbs before you're trying to save a pile of orbs and then use your super and pick them up, this helmet will pick up orbs while your super is full and convert to special ammo at random. So not necessarily a good thing, but it can be fun to play around with. Also, yeah, heavy ammo, stuff like that, and it's fun for generating orbs off of heavy kills. Moving into the Warlock exotic, we have the Stag. Now the Stag is one of the cooler looking helmets. It's one of the first helmets, one of the first exotics people found inside of the Taken King back in year 2. Pretty neat helmet, but ultimately it's relatively useless. The only good thing about this helmet is that it is a 96% stat roll, so it's the highest one available for the week if you're chasing that ever elusive, tier 11, tier 12 build, thing like that. If you want, eke the most out of your intellect, strength, and discipline, this is the helmet for you if you are a Warlock and you don't mind this being a terrible exotic. Anyway, so do or die. Once per life, your super charges faster when your teammates are dead, and chance to spawn with an overshield. Relatively useless. The chance is very low. Your once per life thing, kind of useless. If your teammates are dying, you're probably in a chain ride situation. So I wouldn't recommend this helmet other than the fact the stats are pretty good. But I wouldn't recommend it at all. Moving into the weapon he has on docket this week, we have the Hawkmoon. The Hawkmoon is an exotic hand cannon with holding aces as its exotic perk, and also luck in the chamber as its first perk. So if you are familiar with the Wrath of the Machine raid weapons, you'll see the same thing here. The Wrath of the Machine raid weapons pretty much follow the same pattern that Hawkmoon introduced on PlayStation in year 1 and on Xbox in year 2. You have a hand cannon with one random bullet in the magazine causing considerable bonus damage, and then once this exotic perk is unlocked, you have 2 more random bullets, so a total of 3 in your magazine of 11 there, causing bonus damage. This thing, back when hand cannons were good and decent to use, was very good inside of the Crucible, and pretty fun outside. Back when hand cannons really were hand cannons. This thing hit like a truck. The holding aces, the 3, considerable bonus damages there were very welcome, very nice, and it was a fun gun to use. It's also got some, beautiful, beautiful skins, or what are they called? Ornaments. Beautiful ornaments, but alas, the weapon itself is pretty far out of favor as of late, just because hand cannons got basically nerfed into the ground, and they're pretty much unusable since the latter half of year 1. So would I recommend this weapon? Probably not, in terms of it being a hand cannon. If you don't have a Hawk Moon and you want to play around with it, if you happen to have like a Moon Glow from last week when he sold the ornament, or you just, want the Hawk Moon, it's here for you to buy. Other than that, I wouldn't recommend it, because hand cannons got the short end of the straw in terms of exotic buffs and nerfs. Moving down to the weapon ornaments he has on the agenda this week is the Heart of Gold. This is for the Truth rocket launcher. Turns it completely gold. If you're a fan of Black Ops 2 weapon skins, this is one that's, a little bit of a nudge to you diamond skin hunting motherfuckers. Or was that Black Ops 3? I can't remember. Too many hours played. Not enough time committed to memory. Anyway, Fallen Assassin is your other one. This will change the appearance of the Trespasser. I might have a Trespasser on this character. I'm not really sure if I do. I do not. But this will change the appearance of the Trespasser. If I remember correctly, this is the better looking one of the two. I believe this is the better looking one of the two. In fact, let me move my Trespasser over now. Let's see if this is in fact the better of the two. Let's go ahead and take a gander at this Trespasser. Let's see what this weapon skin looks like, shall we? So we've got the Crucible Assassin, the Fallen Assassin. This is the worst one, sorry. I meant the Crucible Assassin is the cool one, making it silver and gold. It's pretty neat looking. You also get the little Crucible emblem there on the grip, but the Fallen Assassin's kind of not really sure what they're going for with that design, but it's there if you want it. If you were hunting for that specific ornament, it's there for you. Those cost 25 silver dust apiece, and they also cost, I believe it's 1 silver dust to apply the weapon skin or the ornament. Yes, 1 silver dust there. So you're looking at 26 silver dust in total for being able to equip those on your either Hawk Moon or your Truth or whatever you want to use. Moving down to the curios this week, he has the Plasma Drive unquoted and the Emerald Coil quoted, because consistency is Bungie's #1 plan with Destiny. Thank you, Bungie, for your extensive efforts in keeping the game as consistent as possible. The Plasma Drive and Emerald Coil, respectively, can be used to upgrade a rare quality Sparrow from either the Crucible Quartermaster or the Vanguard Quartermaster into a legendary Sparrow with a blue or green trail, depending on which one you use. Pretty neat. If you're a Sparrow collector and you want all the legendary versions, all the color trails, this is where you buy them. Pretty expensive, honestly, 23 strange coins there, but they've been the same price since year 1. So don't expect that to change anytime soon. Moving over, we have heavy ammo synthesis. This can be used while in combat to fully refill your heavy ammo supply. They can also be used to trade into factions to get faction reputation. This is the utmost best way to upgrade your factions quickly. Some people will say, just farm strikes, use boosters, use modes of light, use weapon parts, things like that. Your best for, the bang for your buck situation here, the math has been done, and this is absolutely the best possible conversion rate. If you do not have the exotic class items for your factions, it will take 100 heavy ammo synth to rank up once. If you do have the exotics, I believe it takes somewhere around the realm of 80 something, maybe even less than that, just because the boost is 10%. So whatever 100 minus, so probably 90, probably about 90, somewhere in the 80s. I don't know. I don't know math. I don't do math. I play Destiny all day. What do you expect from me? So moving away from those in just a moment here, we have the next item on the list, which is 3 of Coins. 3 of Coins, although it says a stackable effect, does not in fact stack the way you think it does. So 3 of Coins can be purchased for a lot of coins, actually. So a 5 stack is 7 coins, because 3 of Coins, 5 for 7. It has to be confusing in some way or another. So what these things do is they allow you to have a buff called Exotic Particles. I will go ahead and burn one and show you what that looks like. If you are hunting for exotics and you have some 3 of Coins, you can burn one and see this Exotic Particles buff. On the next Ultra Kill or Crucible match you complete, this buff will be burned. Keep in mind that this, the first one you use is a very small buff. Imagine like a 5% chance. So say you have, your first one burned, you just got an exotic engram out of one of these. The next Crucible match you go into, you burn one, you have exotic particles, the game ends, you get nothing. So you go back in your inventory, burn another one, Finish a Crucible match, you get nothing. I would say a rule of thumb, even though it's not completely correct, that every time you use one and don't get something, the next one you use increases your chances by 5%. So essentially, you're trying to, get lucky. Slot machine, thing like that. Don't use 20 of these at a time. It does not increase your chances. It only counts for the one you've used. So use one, kill a named enemy or an ultra, finish a Crucible match, something along those lines, burn your exotic particles buff, then use another one if you did not happen to get an exotic. They also can proc 2 exotics at once. I happened to get that for the first time last night. Very interesting, very fun. Glass needles are a very expensive thing. I do not recommend these to anyone who is even kind of not a hardcore Destiny player. These things are incredibly expensive for what they do, and I wouldn't recommend them to really anyone. I use these very sparingly because the math behind them is annoying. Essentially what you're looking at here is an item that allows you to reroll armor. So take these Immolation Fists. They're a pretty bad roll, but down here at the Twist Fate tab, we can actually use this to reroll the perks down here and the stats up here. Now, certain exotic armors have set stats. Certain things will basically stay the same. If you have an item that is based around, a melee, take the Ophidian Aspect, you have, improved energy drain. This is mainly a strength gauntlet, so you're always going to have strength on your stats, and you're more than likely always going to have an increased strength in your perks. This also has set perks here. There are certain perks that these gauntlets cannot get. There are also certain perks that certain items will always have, things along those lines. I'm sure the transversive staffs are probably strength-based. I know that for a fact the Void Fang vestments are discipline-based since they are grenade, chest piece, things along those lines. So be careful with what you're doing there. If you want to know exactly what kind of perks and stats things can get, go to bungie.net/armory and go ahead and type in the item you're curious about to find out exactly what that does. These things are incredibly expensive. I do not recommend them at all. Moving down here to the material exchange, you have a Mote of Light for 2 strange coins. This conversion rate is terrible. Never use it. It is a horrible idea, and you're basically wasting money. If you want to use motes and then get motes to level your faction, you're better off just going in here and buying a lot of heavy ammo synthesis. Usually on Friday mornings, the Destiny streamers on Twitch will be playing the heavy ammo or the tower gameplay simulator, which essentially is a kind of like a satirical joke based on the fact that it takes forever to purchase heavy ammo synth. The reason for this is mainly because Bungie doesn't want people buying stacks of 100 of these to get easy faction rank. Now keep in mind that faction packages are limited to 390 light, so you're not going to be getting 400 gear out of your faction packages, but faction packages are a very nice way to level yourself up easily and level yourself up quickly to 390 if that happens to be something you need to do or want to do. Also, it's nice to have heavy ammo for the raid, the Nightfall strikes, things along those lines. So that's where Xur is, and that's what Xur has. My recommendations are essentially save until next week. Unless you need some heavy ammo synth, some 3 of coins. If you were hunting for a Hawkmoon and couldn't get one, and he happens to be selling it, or if you were really looking for the Stag or the Skyburner's Annex, I wouldn't buy anything. I would save your coins for next week. Pick up some synth, pick up some 3 of coins, get your chance at some exotics, things like that. But for the most part, I would stay away from Xur's inventory this week. Just my opinion as someone with nearly 5,000 hours in the game. Just save your coins. Save your coins for next week. You'll probably have something better. So that's my recommendation for the week. Pretty much save it, unless you need something from him. Pretty much what all recommendation videos are. Don't buy it unless you want to. It's your money. Use it how you want. That's gonna be it for me. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. He'll be here until Sunday reset. So he'll be here until Saturday night at 5 a.m. or Sunday morning at 5 a.m. depending on how you work. That's Eastern Standard Time, since I live on the Eastern Standard Time area. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. He's here for 2 days, so don't expect to see him on Monday. Anyway, also Trials of Osiris is out later today if you're one of those PvP people that want to play PvP. So enjoy your Trials of Osiris. I'll be enjoying my not Trials of Osiris. So that's gonna be about it for me. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, very much appreciated. Go ahead and click those cards in the upper right hand corner. Go see some other stuff that I've been doing. And if not, I'll see you guys around. Back in Destiny, doing something else. Probably making a daily reset video or some shit. Weekly reset. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, until the next video. Have a great day, everyone.